Hello and welcome to another session with Professor Sukumar. We are here discussing his book. Professor Sukumar is an accomplished scientist who's worked in various places in India, Germany, US, was educated in US and India. He is somebody who moved from quantum chemistry to medicinal chemistry and computational biology and is working with people in drug discovery, life sciences. So somebody who can't be constrained to silos. It's been an honor to have him as an author, and also we're exploring some collaborations. Um, Professor Sukumar, welcome again.
Thank
And he's written a book which serves the purpose for industry in a very big way. I have been asking him questions related to India, but it's a global book. It's hardly got to do anything with just one country or another. It's on how to use computational chemistry, computational biology, and the AI in the modern age of drug discovery. Drug discovery, as you know, is several $1 trillion industry, is vital to human survival. So he spent a very important book on it. I believe in times to come, it'll be heavily cited, it'll be heavily read. And for me as a publisher of that book, it's been an honor. So I'll talk to him about something we started discussing in the previous episode. That look, both of us have worked outside India, educated outside India. We worked in India. I had a rather horrible experience. I kind of did something which I would not recommend others to do. I reported on corruption of people and other things. And but Indian academia has a problem. Indian science has some amazing things, like ISRO is doing amazing work. Some of the IITs do very good work in teaching, but some aspects of academia are very stagnant, very rotten, very much part of cabal of like clique people. So I've seen the worst of it, but instead of my discussion of worst of Indian academia or even the best, what I want to discuss some broader things before I ask specific question to Professor Sukumar is that in India, in life sciences, you have issues of lab animals being under extreme stress. Um, you have also issues of cell cultures not being the same. I experienced that heavily when I was working at CDRI or various CSR institutes collaborating or an ISO system. You can't really be very certain of the data. Data is the key, and if your data is garbage, everything's garbage in science. If your data is not reliable, India has some pluses which have not been explored fully, but people have started to do it. It's not just me or Professor Sukumar who realized that. We might be one of the few, but we are not the only one. That India has good training in computer sciences and artificial intelligence, and it has also some good teachers in various biomedical fields and chemistry. That drug discovery can be done really well if we see it as a broader international effort. What is happening in US, various pharma companies are forming consortia, exchanging data, especially on toxicity. Uh, and there are various efforts. I don't want to belabor on that. I've given multiple talks. I want to get to Professor Sukumar on that topic. But the idea is that drug discovery is not uh, in silos anymore in areas where it's being successful. So where India, and not just India, global South, whether it's Pakistan, whether it's some countries in Africa, in South America, right? Whether it's other countries of Asia, whether it's West Asia or Southeast Asia, all these countries where people who are interested in drug discovery can contribute, is that a lot of clinical trials can be cheaper. A lot of data is there. People are still interested in education. One of the horrible things, I mean, for me, America is one of my two homes. In fact, Professor Sukumar may not like it. I find myself more emotionally attached to US than to India, given my experiences. Everyone has different life experiences. So the fact is that in US, I'm seeing very alarming trend that people are valuing college education less and less, and fewer are going for masters, and even fewer are going for PhDs. It's mostly immigrants, and it's a very dangerous trend. But where one can still contribute, and US is still the mecca of innovation, it's still the place for entrepreneurship. How one can do drug discovery in the broader sense is a lot of things are happening in US where the best brains go, whether they're educated in US or educated outside. But countries like India can contribute one towards AI, so a lot of computational things, if the right collaborations are forged. Second, they can contribute to clinical trials. Some of the American pharma companies have already started setting up their centers. So these are two areas. Now I've already given a very long thing instead of asking you a question, but now I want you to give your thing. Yeah, very long, very long. So this one ends up being sort of more of my rambling, but I'll now ask Professor Sukumar sort of what is his opinion on this matter.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you've said. That there are initiatives like the Open Source Drug Discovery Consortium, where uh, you, know, you don't need a big investment up front in order to make a contribution. And as you said, in AI and in computer science, there's a lot of talent in India, and people don't know how to apply the techniques to data, and what data, and and the people who have the data uh, don't really understand what can be done with it.
Oh yeah.
They're sitting on top of a data gold mine.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, they'd be happy to get some papers out of it.
Yeah.
That's the maximum.
Yeah, that's a maximum.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I'll actually. So we conducted surveys in all the 148 major tribal groups in India. We've done various things, in terms of even phyto surveys. But we worked with some collaborators. I'll not name the person. He's a great friend of mine. But he just randomly sent me two papers. He's like, "Chota impact paper, like small impact paper. Let's get it published." And shockingly, one of them had a plantain species which was locally being used for non-hormonal birth control. And then I explored and dug deeper that yes, it's been used over centuries, and there are some papers on it. I'm like, have you bothered to identify the molecule? He said, absolutely not. I just did the studies in rats, which proves what was traditionally known to be true. I'm like, that's a gold mine. That's worth, if it is really reaches to the fusion, that could be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. He's like, I'm happy getting a paper. That's exactly what he said. Just help me get published.
yeah.
So there is a lot of knowledge, and there are a lot of things where one can approach. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's true even on the computer science side. There's people who have a lot of experience in data mining, in robotics, in large language models, but they want to present a paper at a conference. And that's how we are measuring accomplishment. That what papers can we get published, and what conferences can be published at, and that's the end of it. So, and that's not how it should be. We should be focusing all the way on translational medicine, going all the way from the lab, from the bench and the computer, straight to the patients whom it will benefit.
I do see change in leadership in medical institutions in India, and I hope it's for good. Um, Compared to academics who are mostly interested in protesting what government is doing wrong, there is a shift not to brighter scientists. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They might be same intellectually or lower, but they seem to be the new crop of directors of various medical colleges seem to be more open to collaborations, industry tie-ups. Maybe it's a push from the top to show translational work, but which is very, very useful. I've seen a very new vibrance in all the aims that have been set up, including the newer ones. Some of them are just, at this stage, just being in the process of making rather than made. But their directors are very open once you approach them. They don't have the older repulsion to industry. So the previous relationship of academia in India to industry was of opportunism. Hey, if the government forces will just put your name and show something, but will really not work with you. It's almost two parallels which never met.
Yeah, a lot of industrial research in India was just for tax savings.
Yeah.
At best.
Yeah. At best.
Yeah, but that's no longer the case, and hopefully, that will.
Yeah. So a global tie-up can change things. Okay, so this was good to get your perspective on. We'll move on to next episode next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.